Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Red Plays Pokemon Sun. Now in the last episode we had just completed Lana's trial and obtained the Waterium Z. And we were told that the Waterium Z is what we need to chase away the Sudowoodo that were previously blocking our way when we tried to go south towards the red flag on the map that you can see in Rotom Dex. So let's give that a try and continue our journey on the Color Island and hopefully get to our next trial as soon as possible. Nothing much has changed in-game since last time we were here. I probably leveled up Barks a little bit. And I finished going around, tying up loose ends, getting the items that I'm supposed to get. And of course, capturing the Pokemon that were available in the area, completing the jobs, getting the cash, all that sort of thing. And I would like to add, even though I can't show you right now, that my Festival Plaza is officially a level 100 Festival Plaza, which allows me to use the boast "I've got to level 100 in Festival Plaza" as my greeting, which I was quite pleased to use. After all, it took me quite a bit of effort to get to level 100. But it was all worth it because I got a whole bunch of cash from doing it. And a whole bunch of levels for my Pokemon as well. Yep, so we have successfully gotten rid of the Sudowoodo who were blocking the road. I mean, it's a bit odd that you actually have to use the Waterium Z. I mean, after all, we could just smack them, I think, quite comfortably, quite easily, and make them faint, right? Okay, so there's a Battle Royal Dome around here. Okay, I hear it's a new battle format where four trainers duke it out at the same time and try to score the most number of points in order to win. Sounds like a huge mess to me, but I think we might be able to get a sense of what it actually is like very shortly. Okay, I'm going to switch up the order. I had Snorlax front our team because I was doing a lot of capturing for this. But we do want Barks at the front, so we benefit from the Amulet Coin. Although at this point the game may not matter very much because after all, the trainers only give you like a few $100 a pop, so multiplying that by 2 is only that amount. You maybe get like 1,200 tops. I mean, judging from the previous games, but still, every bit of cash is precious, so I'm not going to say no to money. Magby, I've not seen one of these in a long time. And I'm also looking for a fire Pokemon to fill a slot on my team, but we'll see about it. Might be able to catch a Magby and have it evolve into a Magma or even a Magmortar. But of course there are other options, I'll see about it. My friend did tell me about a certain new kind of fire Pokemon that's only available in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So that sounds interesting because I remember it was a lizard that had a hybrid fire poison type, so which allows it to be a strong counter against fairy types. Among other things. But like I said, we'll see. So if there's one Z crystal for every single element, that would make 16? Because if I'm not mistaken, there are 16 types currently in the game. Or was it 18? I don't remember. So if you assume one trial for each stone, not including some of the other specialized stones that are meant for individual Pokemon, like, you know, the Snorlax Z. I think Pikachu has one as well. So if each of the types has to have one, then you have at least a minimum of 16 trials, of which we have completed. Let's see. Okay, so we fought Captain Elima, and we fought later on Kahuna Hala to get 2 crystals, the normal alien and the Phytinium Z. And then we just cleared Lana, so she's the 3rd one. That leaves 13 more trials to go. So we still have quite a ways to go in this series. Ooh, what's this? Sleep Talk. That's interesting. I might replace Snorlax's Snore with this, but let me see exactly what it does. Randomly uses one of the moves it knows while asleep. Okay. Well, I don't think Snorlax's current moveset would make that a good idea, so no. I'm not gonna skip teaching Snorlax that for the moment. Okay, let's see what's happening here. That's a pretty odd looking horse. You there, trainer, can you come to my aid? Over here. Yo, don't go turning your backside on us. As always. And you're that numbskull trainer from Melee. These scoundrels are Pokemon thieves, and you're on familiar terms with them? Unfortunately. But I'm just going to pretend I don't know who they are. It's always fun watching their reaction. It's nice to get a rise out of them while you're kicking their ass at the same time. Yes, Pokemon thieves roam about brazenly. Yes, please leave that one to me. Take care of it in a jiffy. It's a legitimate business, let's say. Well, sure. Thievery is legitimate business. Well, I guess there's a whole business structure behind, you know, burglary, thieving, robbery. Because unless you want, I mean, if you're like, I don't know, like, not a professional thief, and you just steal the things that you actually want to use, so then, like, for example, okay, first of all, disclaimer, I'm not advocating stealing, robbing, or burglary of any kind, but just discussing the topic academically, as it were. So, as I was saying, if you're a small-time thief, or, you know, don't do it for a living, and you see something that you really want, but you don't have the money or don't want to pay the money for it, then that's where you steal the thing, right? There's no need to sell it. But like I said, there can be like a business model, structure, supply chain thing behind the entire thieving business, because if you're not stealing the thing for its own sake, like you know, a bag that you really want or a game console that you really want, but you are stealing it because there's resale value and you hope to sell it somewhere, then who do you sell, you know, booty to? I mean, most shops are not, so to say, equipped to dispose of goods that you obtain through questionable means. So if you guys have played games like Skyrim, you know, you know that stolen goods can't be sold at every merchant. You have to go to specialized merchants that are called fencers. And that's actually a real thing in real life, where, you know, there are shops or individuals that operate businesses that specialize in buying stolen goods and then disposing them for a profit. So you can see that there's actually, well, I mean, the Team Scout guy is not entirely wrong, nor entirely correct, but it is sort of a business. Whether it's legitimate or not depends on what you mean by legitimate. Is it legal? I don't think so. But is it a business, as in people do it for profit and loss? I mean, sorry, for profit and, to avoid loss, then yeah, I think it is a business. An illicit one, to be sure. Okay, so we spanked them hard. They ran away. And we've just been told to give Battle Royals a try. Okay, I'm sure the game will, in a way, force us to do it with like a tutorial or something. But okay, see, we're supposed to go to the right, but there's a path that leads downward. Let's check this. Let's check this route for a little bit before we go back up north and to the east. Okay, it's a Cubone. I've not seen one in a long time. If I remember right, it's a rock/fighting type, which means either a water or a fairy move from Barks should do the trick. Let's go with Sparkling Area. Excellent. Okay, good. Cubone. If I'm not mistaken, I seem to have seen an Alolan version of Cubone and Marowak in promotional material, so we might be able to encounter some of those, but ooh, a rare candy. Nice. Okay, very good. Let's see if there's anything here. No, so just that rare candy. Totally worth it though. Okay, what's over here? According to the map, that looks like a bridge that can cross over a body of water, which of course we're going to be barred from crossing until further notice. But that's fine. Let's see what's over here. Dimensional Research Lab. The dimensions are given physical form. Interesting place. I might check it out later. Festival Plaza. Yes, like I said, mine's already a level 100, way ahead of it than you are. Okay, what's this cave? It says Diglett's Tunnel. Interesting. Okay, I don't want to stray too far from, where we're supposed to go now, because it seems like we are given surprisingly quite a lot of leeway in this part of the game. But the main objective now is to reach the next trial as soon as possible, so I think I'll do these exploration in my own time. And if it's interesting enough, I'll make a video about it, don't worry. But I would like to focus on the main campaign for now. And head to our next objective as soon as possible. But I don't know if I made this observation before, but like the Alolan Executor, the Grass Dragon type, seems to be on many of the villagers or islanders' clothings. I remember seeing a tourist with an Alolan Executor on his t-shirt. And now you have this dancer with an Alolan Executor on her dress. Does that Pokemon carry any, I don't know, further significance that we don't know of? I mean, why is it on so many people's clothing? Okay. Oh, that's actually quite a pretty thing. Yeah, I like flowers actually. Not like, I expect people to give me a bouquet anytime soon or actually want that to happen because it might be quite embarrassing. But I do like looking at flowers in their natural state. Okay, I don't think this is entirely natural because clearly somebody has done some gardening to get them to look like this. By so-called natural, I mean not in a bouquet where they're already cut, like what I'm talking about are flowers that are still attached to the plants that they're growing out of. I like looking at those. They are beautiful, and it actually would upset me to despoil those things by cutting the flowers off them. But oh well, an entire industry is based on it, and an entire aspect of life is seemingly based on it, or not exactly based on it, but it is involved in, romance, which is a huge part in our lives, I hope. Okay, let me just go around checking and healing up my Pokemon before we enter the what I think is the Pokemon Battle Royal Dome that we saw in the background earlier in the introduction, or rather the establishing shot that introduced this area. Okay, telling you about Protect. Okay, nothing much it seems. Before that, let's check out the shop. It's a technical machine shop. Okay, let's see. Oh, those are weather moves. I don't really need them right now. Okay, I'm not gonna buy any then. Let's make our way and continue onward to the next area. And we did pick up a few pink nectars, which would allow us to change forms of Oricorials. Not that I use them in my team, but we'll see about it. Might be fun to try and see just what it can turn into. Oh, guess what? When you look around, another rare candy. Okay, I think this is a Malasada shop. I think that's the logo. Yeah, it is. So they have a Malasada of the mythic Malasada, but all my Pokemon have like no maximum affection ready, so I don't want to waste time and money on that. Let's just hurry up and enter the dome. So that's Gladian. As always, fulfilling his archetype as the emo teen and walking around muttering to himself, complaining to himself, whining to himself about how, they are the only ones who understand themselves. The entire world is out to get them, and they normally fixate on like an object or a single person, in this case his Pokemon type now. And, in an effort to relieve that mind-forged sense of loneliness, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure I like such characters. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I wasn't like that when I was younger, but you kind of outgrow that at some point. And I do hope it's something that everybody outgrows sooner rather than later. Okay, this person's manner of speaking seems oddly familiar. I'm going to say that's Professor Cookie right there. But he's going to flat out deny it. Not very successful, I'm afraid. He's the only one so far in the game that we have encountered that keeps interjecting with oh yes in his dialogue. Look at that, as we just saw. And with that corny woo at the end of the sentence. Battle Royal, what's the Battle Royal? Yeah, and the level of bad jokes, I think, seems to fit his modus operandi. Okay, so yes, 4 trainers. When one trainer's team can't battle anymore, the Battle Royal ends. Okay, so it's like a fatal 4-way match in WWE fashion, I suppose. Like, the match ends when somebody is defeated, either by pinfall or whatever rules that happen to be running at that point in time. First, just give it a shot, pick your Pokemon and let's do this. Dude, it's the Master Royal. I want a battle, I want a battle. Well, we know who our fanboy in the game is. Okay, so Gladian, Hau, and Professor Kukui are going to be our opponents in our very first Battle Royal. Discovery, new experiences, adventure. It's all yours if you want it. Well, that's kind of overselling it. I think it's only one Battle Royal. But I suppose you could call it an adventure. We're in the Battle Royal Dome, the arena for Battle Royals. The dome is packed and filled with excitement. Now here come the contenders. Oh, are we gonna have? I was thinking like there's gonna be some kind of announcer like weighing in at 250 pounds. Kind of like the wrestling announcer or the boxing announcers. Oh well. Yes, are you ready to rumble? Well, I'm sorry if that was a very bad impression of what the guy does during the boxing matches. I don't really know what his name is, but every time I watch the boxing match, like his beginning announcements are kind of, it makes me think like if you've never seen him do it in person, the price of entry would have been justified just by hearing him say it in person into the mic before the match starts. Are you ready to rumble in that voice, in that fabulous voice of his? Okay, so each of us only picked one Pokemon here, and my AoE move killed the Fire Kitten of Hau and thereby winning the game. But it's too easy, I think, but oh well. Barks is awesome. You were on fire during that battle. I hope you bring that fire with you and burn up my trial. Wow, he definitely looks burnt. He looks charred in many places, but it's a cool looking hairstyle, except like it looks like a ripoff of Vegeta's hairstyle from Dragon Ball. I mean, his entire head of hair is pointing upwards and all spiky. I hope you and your Pokemon are working hard and having a blast. And he just gave away his identity, but Hau being suspicious. Oh, I get it because of our amulets, huh? He's too innocent, this Hau guy. Or he's just pretending to go along with it. Either way, I think he's being nice, so... Oh, Hau, you're so nice. Compared to this guy over here. Oi! Emo kid number 1. Because Noah and I have to make it on our own, and I don't ever want to forget that. Oh. Come on. Yeah, I totally agree, Hau. I totally agree. Yeah, I think you'll have a lot more fun if you just let yourself have a good time with everybody else. Yeah, I totally agree. And that's kind of why I'm, sharing this experience of going through this game with you guys. The select few who watch my videos currently. See, that's why I like doing Battle Royals, and my Pokemon seem to like them too. Well, I don't know. Yours just got whacked quite hard. I don't know how well he liked it. Unless he, is a masochist. Okay, let me just check the area and see. Should look at that Primarina. It's clearly putting a lot of effort. What do you pin? Oh, it's the effort ribbon thing. Okay, nice. There's this kid who's been winning tons of matches. I think his name is Claydin. Okay, so Claydin's been putting up quite a performance in the Battle Royale Dome, we're told. But moves that can attack. Oh, you actually have their power cut. Oh, so AoE moves have their power cut. Okay, that makes more sense. Otherwise, then everybody just going to load their Pokemon with like AoE moves and just dominate the whole thing. But anyway, I'm going to call this an episode, and as always, subscribe to see more new videos out every 2 or 3 days. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Red Plays Pokemon Sun.